Hey, Facebook. Hey, all, it's Jen. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that's been on my mind, running, weight loss, and body health. Because lately, I've been getting some really fantastic compliments, which always feels very good. But I also am hearing people say, well, I could never do that, or maybe I should just run a little bit more, or maybe if I did a little bit more cardio, I could lose those last 5 pounds, or I could start to lose weight. And that's really just not the case. Of course, it will work, but I'm going to tell you why it's actually been working for me here in a little bit. So again, we're going to be talking about running, weight loss, and body health. All of that is, body health is really super important if you do decide to run, and how to maintain a nice, strong body. So, my story is, you may have seen me posting obviously about running and some of these crazy, crazy races that I'm doing. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure why I said yes to it. It was just kind of something to try and do. But I remember, I remember back in high school, I ran cross country and I ran track. And I was terrible, guys. I was the drama queen. I was sitting down on the course. I was horrible. So I kind of feel like I have something to prove now, but it took me a lot of years to actually really like the idea of even running again. And now I run for myself. Back in high school, I had a coach who just really questioned, why are you doing what you're doing? And I had no idea back then. But now I do know that I'm just running for me. I'm running for freedom, to feel good. And so that's why I run now. And I think it was only 2012 that I could barely run a mile. I was huffing and puffing. I was miserable. I'm just like, no, running is for crazies. Why would I ever do that? And, I ran a significant amount of miles just this last weekend. So guys, that was, like I said, 2012, when I could hardly run that mile. And here I am, signed up for a half marathon and a full marathon. And so, like I said, people will talk to me and say, well, I could never do that. And if only I ran more cardio and did a little bit more, I'd feel better. Well, I think what's really happening right now, I started this particular training program back in June. And what's truly happening is that after running 3 days a week, very, very consistently for the last few months, my body is finally responding in a positive way. I'm finally releasing those last few pounds. My body composition's changing quite a bit as well. So it's not just about the weight that's lost. It's what kind of weight has been lost. But the key word in that is consistency. So if you're going to choose to run for weight loss, or for any other reason for that matter, it doesn't really matter why you want to run. If you're going to do it, I want you to commit to it for the long haul. Commit to it for, just like I said, commit to it for the long haul. Consistency, 3 days a week, twice a week. Create a program that you're doing day in, week out, because that, I believe, is what has been the biggest reason that I'm finally seeing results, not just in my health, but also in my weight loss. Is that, and you may not have seen that, right? June? That's not quite 6 months ago. But back in June, you may not have realized that I had started that. I run every Tuesday and every Thursday for 45 minutes. And then on Saturdays is a different run. Sometimes it's only a couple miles. And then recently it's grown significantly in preparation for the Dopey Challenge. But that is really, really important. Really choose to stay consistent. And if you're actually wanting to run for weight loss, or you're someone who is saying, if I just did more cardio, if I just ran, consider where you are now for a couple reasons. I want you to consider where your health is right now. And then I want you to also consider where your habits are, your eating habits, are you taking any supplements? How's your water intake? How's sleep? Those kind of things. Because where you are right now is going to be an indicator of how long it's going to take you to see those results. So I was fairly fit prior to starting this particular training program in June. And it still took me 3+ months to start seeing those results. And I know, and I have a lot of clients that get really frustrated when they don't see results even after a month. So if you're just joining this video, we're talking about weight loss right now, specifically running for weight loss and how it could work for you. So if you're joining me, welcome. If you decide to run, I really want you to consider doing it for the long haul, taking your time, figuring out where you are right now, and creating a very realistic program. And for you, it may take 6 months. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. Like I said, it's been 4 years before I really decided, hey, I'm going to run this marathon. So there's some people that'll sign up for a 5K. That's fantastic. It's great motivation. I've also had people say, well, I'm going to sign up for a half marathon. I'm going to lose weight. It's going to be awesome. Take a step back and really understand that that may not be the best method for weight loss and overall body health. Because here's the other thing I want you to realize. If you take a look at long distance runners, marathon runners, what do they look like? They look like the very thin, not a whole lot of meat on their bones. There's not a lot of muscle there. And the reason for that is that other than some minor balancing, you don't need to use a whole lot of muscle while long distance running. So the body is this really super amazing machine, and it will start to get rid of the muscle because it doesn't need it. Your body wants to do what you want it to do, so it's gonna adjust accordingly. And the last thing we really want to be doing as we get older is losing any lean muscle. We want as much of that as possible so that we stay strong and we stay healthy for the quality of life. So if you are going to choose to run for weight loss, I really encourage you to add in some strength training in addition to that. It'll help you stay strong. It'll help your joints stay healthy. So really add in that strength training with it. And then last but really not least, if you do choose to run, protect yourself. Protect yourself with supplementation, proper stretching, exercise for the purpose of running. So there's specific moves and things that you can do to keep a neutral posture so that when you're running, you don't hurt your back, so that you don't hurt your knees. Dig in and find some of those exercises, or reach out to me. I'm happy to help because I've found some great resources. So if you choose to run, that's great. I love it. At least for a few miles, I love it. I'm still not sure about these super long distances. But if you don't like it, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. The key is doing something consistently for weight loss. Every single week, 2 to 3 times a week, it's consistency. Do it for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year. You'll start to see results if you stay consistent. So I hope you found some of this a little helpful. Still learning this whole live feed going on. Look forward to the next session with you guys. We'll probably be talking about running and recovery. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.